Hi everyone, this is Karen Peters with renovatedfaith.com, and this week on the blog we're talking about how to faux stain furniture with latex paint. Now you might be wondering why we would want to use paint to stain furniture instead of just a traditional stain. Well, take this coffee table for example. My husband Jeremy and I built this coffee table about 10 years ago, so it has some sentimental value and I still love it today. After 10 years of being in the middle of our high traffic living room, it had lots of scratches, dents, and just needed refinishing, or we needed to buy a new table. So my options on refinishing were either to use a chemical stripper to strip off all the old stain. That can be messy, time consuming, and I don't know about you, but I don't like to breathe in that stuff. Or to use one of these faux stains, which is just a simple process of layering paint on top of the stain that is already there. So in this post, I will show you all the details on how to do your own faux stain. Another reason I like faux stains is because, say, I was refinishing a natural piece of furniture and I wanted to be sure of how my stain would look. I wanted to get a certain shade of stain and want to be able to, Jake wanted to say hi, be able to know what my stain would look like. Well, unfortunately, with a natural wood, sometimes traditional stain penetrates it differently than other woods based on moisture levels and based on types of wood. So it's hard to know what you're actually going to end up with at the end of the day. But with one of these faux stains, you can know that you will get the same beautiful product every single time. So in this post, I share exactly how to do this process. I share in the video and also refer back to the blog post to see the exact materials I use and paints I use and some more tips. And be sure to watch on the blog, as soon we'll be doing a faux raw wood finish and a faux restoration hardware finish on wood. So you don't want to miss those also, as raw wood finishes are a really big thing right now. But I'd love for you to check out this post in this video as I show you 5 different shades and how to do a faux stain with latex paint. Whether your furniture piece has already been painted or it's in raw wood, you want to sand the surface just a little bit to rough it up some. Now you can brush on your primer in the direction of the wood grain. Be sure to check out the blog post to pick your stain color. There you'll find the corresponding base coats and layer 1 and 2 coats to get the perfect shade for your project. Now it's time to mix your faux stain with a combination of water, glaze, and latex paint. Be sure to check the blog post to see exactly what color and what combinations to use for your specific stain. When you're done mixing, the mixture will look like runny paint. Now that you've mixed together your layer 1 mixture, it's time to brush it on your furniture piece. Your goal at this point is just to get it on the piece, brushing it on in the direction of the grain. In a few seconds, we'll perfect it and actually take some of this paint mixture off to get a really nice grain effect. Now is the fun part, to make the grain effect in your furniture piece. I just wiped off some of the excess paint mixture from my brush onto an old towel. You can use a paper towel or newspaper for this also. I'm getting some of the excess paint off so that I can make a more sheer, definitive grain in the surface of my furniture piece. Continue going from left to right. I see a little piece of dried paint in the top, so if this happens, just simply remove it and then brush over it. You cannot mess this up. Make long strokes from left to right that are continual, and don't lift up your brush until you've gone all the way to the end of the surface of your furniture piece. There's another piece of dried paint in the surface, and that was super easy to remove, and I went over it again with my brush from left to right. If you make maybe too much of a grain or remove too much paint, that's really easy to fix. Just brush over it a few times and that will blend right out. Say if you have a place that is kind of sparse and doesn't have enough paint, just simply add a little paint to that area and then go over it again to even it out. You cannot mess this up. The glaze in this mixture makes it really easy to work with, and also makes this mixture stay moist longer, so you have plenty of time to work with it and get it how you want it to look before it starts to dry up on you. Now you can brush on a top coat to protect your beautifully faux finished furniture. I like to use Varathane's water-based top coat, and just brush it on from left to right in the original direction of your grain. You'll notice it's going on kind of hazy white, almost bluish, but I promise that will dry clear. Just follow the directions on the can and let it dry. Now you can see the finished sample in rustic mahogany. And here's my finished breakfast table with the top stained in dark walnut to match the new chairs. And I also did the top of my coffee table in dark walnut. You can find plans for this table on the blog. Last but not least is my dresser, and you can see how I stained the top in brown oak. You can pick from several different shades and also find detailed instructions here on the blog. Last but not least, this is the top of my dresser, and you can see here where I've stained it in brown oak.